Good morning, I'm Jamie and this is Thomas and our oldest son Nate back here. We are Big Oaks Little Farm and we're going on a little trip today. So we're sitting on the couch back, when was this, last spring? Right, it was still cold, wasn't it?
It was in January.
In January. So we're sitting on the couch one evening last January and Thomas says, hey, there's 4 piglets for sale in Marketplace. I think I'm gonna buy them. And then he did. And what, you went and got him the next day?
Yeah, it was a couple days later. I had to figure out how I was going to transport them. And so ended up, putting together a couple of dog crates to transport them in. It was quite a fun experience.
No, it wasn't.
So we already had pigs. We have Kune pigs, but those are fancy pigs. And for us, they're a little bit more like pet pigs, and then their babies actually are worth a lot of money. And so we bought the Kunis more for kind of a profit situation for breeding them and making money off of the babies. And they're just sweet. They think they're dogs. But we also, and we will probably raise some for meat. It's supposed to be really good meat. We have not gotten to partake in that yet, but it's supposed to be very different from traditional pigs. But
very red marbly meat.
Yes, red marbly meat. But we wanted to raise some just generic feeder pigs, see how we like the process, see if we like the pigs. So
I don't like the process.
Thomas will tell us about how we did that.
Yeah, so like Jamie said, I was sitting there. I've been thinking about doing raising pigs for a while, and didn't know really what I was doing. Did some research, but just kind of was like, wanted to get to meat independence on our farm, where we're raising our own meat and processing our own meat and eating our own meat. And so this is one step closer. And so we kind of took a page out of Justin Rhodes' book. I don't know if you follow him on YouTube, but he said one of the first times they got a cow, in order to pay for the cow, they got another farm or another family to split the cow with them. And so it made it more affordable. And so that's kind of what we did, is we asked a couple of our family and friends around us and said, we want to get these pigs. Would you be interested in half a pig or quarter of a pig or, whatever, whole pig? So before we know it, we had every single pig claimed, and away we went. So our goal with these pigs was to have them pasture raised as much as possible. And the idea that I had, which I have now learned from, was we were going to use hog panel and move that fencing around every couple of days to a week, just depending on how much they ate and how often they needed to move. And so
part of the goal too with that was to clear just a bunch of brush underneath trees. Our property was very overgrown when we got it, and so part of the goal with moving the pigs, we were moving them under trees, was trying to clear that out and clean that up as well.
Yes, yeah. And so, I still work full-time and travel for work, and oftentimes that burden of moving them was moved to Jamie and Nate and some of our other kids. And so there was a couple times that Nate actually got out there. He pounded the posts in and moved the hog panels with my wife. So it became a family thing of drudgery, if you will, because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Oh.
We got it down to about an hour to an hour and a half each time we moved it, but that's still a lot of work for moving them. So we've learned from there. We're gonna the next time we do this, which we are going to do this again, we are going to use electric fencing because it's much easier to move. And I should have listened to all the YouTubers that I watch and done that in the first place, but
we were nervous. We were nervous about them getting out.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have a great perimeter fence around the entire property, which was my concern is if they get out of an electric fence, then they're gone forever. You know, it's somebody else's bacon.
Yeah.
And I like my bacon. So.
And was talking from a price point, were hog panels and T-posts cheaper than getting the electric fence?
I don't know. I mean,
maybe the initial like little square we made, but then we kept making it bigger.
We kept adding to it. Yeah. So I think it was the initial was cheaper. I think all in with clips and everything, we might have been $125, $150 on our initial setup. And sometimes those, even like if you get electric fence with the solar chargers, those can, you know, solar chargers, if you get a good one, are double that cost right out of the gate. And so it may have been a little bit of a let's do this as cheaply as possible this round, but we're going to change that up for sure.
Okay, so then did we feed them in addition to letting them clear under trees? What and how much did we have to feed them?
So
A lot of scraps.
probably one of the things that we did wrong was our feeding. I fed them probably not underfed, but didn't feed them like a pig farmer would to get them to weight. And I did not ferment the pig food. The goal, the idea again is just figure this out as we go and try and do better the next time. But we went to the Homestead of America conference and listened to a speaker there. What was his name?
Pork Rind.
Pork Rind, yes.
I'll link his YouTube channel.
Yeah, I don't think he's on a couple of podcasts and he's got Instagram.
He has a YouTube channel.
Does he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we started watching it. Or I have.
Anyway, so listen to him on just the overall basics of pig feed.
He was really fun.
And learned a lot about what I was doing wrong. And so, you know, this time I'm going to focus more on the elements or the nutrition in the pig food, and really focus on the age of the pig, where they're at in their process, and make sure that my proteins are matching. I have enough lysine, and I'm getting the feed that they need to feed them out to weight, rather than just kind of throw a bag of pig feed at it and see if it works. I'm going to try and do a more scientific process this time.
What I really liked about feeding the pigs was that I hate waste. Like, it makes me nuts to waste things. And having pigs, which we compost scraps, and sometimes we give scraps to the chickens, but we've got dogs with our chickens, and sometimes goats. The dogs are livestock dogs that, you know, keep hogs from stealing our chickens. But they also will steal the scraps, so then it almost defeats the purpose of feeding them to the chickens. But having pigs, it was like, it didn't make me as mad when the kids wouldn't eat the crust on their sandwich, or, you know, wouldn't eat something. And even just like, you know, you're chopping vegetables and like broccoli. I don't know about you, but I don't like the stem of broccoli. I like the
stem of broccoli is good.
You like the broccoli stems? Then why don't you eat them?
Because I don't eat broccoli.
Well, I'm going to start saving them for you. Anyway, but it didn't make me nearly as mad when my kids wasted their food, because we just turned it to bacon, and it became a joke. Like if they had cereal and there was milk left over, we have a dairy cow as well, and we would give the milk to the dairy cow. And I would tell Ava, our littlest, if she didn't want to finish her milk, I was like, it's okay, I'll just turn that into bacon. And we had some friends over one time, and they didn't want to finish something, and she's like, oh, I'll show you how to turn it into bacon. Like, it's this magic trick. But we also, you know, when our dairy cow is kind of at her peak of milk making, it can sometimes, like, if we're busy, I won't have time to process enough of it into, you know, cheeses and yogurt and all that. And so it's really nice to be able to give that to the pigs and it not be wasted. But we also just got to where we intentionally, I'd pull the cream off of like a gallon and clabber it, and I gave them a gallon of milk a day. But it was just for the 4 pigs. You can give them a lot more than that. But, you know, I am a little bit stingy with my milk because we do only have the 1 cow. But that was also a fun way to help fatten them up a little bit.
So we are on our way out to our butcher. It's Triple J. They are here in Kemp, Texas, and we are going to go pick up the meat. We have something around, I think it's around 250 to 300 pounds of meat total, which I know 4 pigs, that sounds like not much. That's the hanging weight after evisceration. And so we do plan to take this home. We're going to divide it up, and deliver to our family and friends. And then we'll hopefully get to show you what some of this pork looks like, how it's packaged, and some of the processing.
And it was really nice using Triple J as a small company, that we actually met them at our farmers market, and it's been nice using them. They've been very helpful. The ordering was really simple, and we were able to call them and ask questions because, you know, we don't know what we're doing. We haven't done this before, so that was really nice. And then we had a neighbor who had asked us for the hinds, right?
Yeah.
And a couple of the heads. I can't wait to see what he's going to do with them.
Tacos.
Yes, I know there will be tacos, and then I guess like pork rinds with this hot skin. Yeah.
I don't know. Yes.
But we're very excited to see what he does with that. And so we were able to call them and ask, like, can we have this? How does this work? And the other thing I'm super excited about is the lard, because we make goat milk soap, and I buy lard to put in it. And so I'm very excited about learning to render this lard and having all this that I am not having to invest in. So it's going to make, you know, the cost of making the soap go down and be a even more natural product than it already is. So I'm very excited about that. So
I'd say the last thing too about Triple J is that, you know, one of the things that if you're reading much on the news or in the agriculture business or meat business, is there's becoming a shortage of processors. And so developing that relationship with a local processor early in this process is going to be helpful down the road as far as processing cows, pigs, and other types of animals potentially down the road. So it's one of the joys of having one here local.
And do you think we'll ever process a pig on farm?
We have talked about it. I need to research more and learn more about what I need. I've seen some videos. I've seen you know, Justin Rhodes, Aller Homesteads, those guys processing meat, and they have all the equipment up front, and so it's kind of one of those you know, paralysis by analysis type things, because it's like
It's a lot of stuff you need.
you just don't want to screw up what your family's going to be eating. That's my biggest fear.
Yeah. Well, and my dad is a butcher by trade. He taught, when we did chickens a while back, he taught me how to piece them up. So he's done pigs before. Actually, where he's working now, that's primarily what they do. So we know he could help us with the processing it part. It's more the, I guess the slaughter, the getting them to where they're like sawed in half, ready to cut apart. So maybe eventually, but we are very excited to be going to get our pigs today. What are you most excited about, Nate?
Bacon.
I knew you would say that. What are you most excited about, Ben?
Just the whole process.
I think he's
mean,
also
just-
excited about the bacon.
Yes, bacon, but
Bacon. We're all excited about bacon.
just I guess more the process, like, you know, seeing it come to fruition, just all the
Work.
all the hard work, all the money put into it,
Yes.
and now I finally get to eat the finished product. So.
Yes. And there's something so comforting about having a freezer full of meat.
Oh yes. Don't want a lot of it for Alrighty, we have come back now from our run to the butcher, and you can see here we have all the meat that we have picked up. Lots of meat here. I know we used recycled boxes. We got all the byproducts from all the pigs as well that we could possibly try and use. And anyway, we had a great morning trip, and we are excited to taste this meat. So thank y'all for watching, and happy homesteading.